What is tribute? What does it mean to give tribute to something? Usually we think about an event, a time, a place, something that holds a special place in our heart. When I think about tribute or an event, I think about the process of human development, the stages that we all go through to get to the place that we are now. The one thing that we have in common is that we all experienced a time where we felt less than or we were struggling with our own identity. Many of us discovered or dealt with this during our adolescent period. This was a difficult stage for many of us to get to where we are now. Now, the one thing that many of us have had the opportunity to do is to get through high school and to experience a graduation. Now, what is graduation? Graduation is something that can be explained as an accomplishment, a gathering to celebrate something of the unexpected, something that many people don't have the chance to do. You see the lights, you hear people speak, you come to celebrate a moment where you stand up in front of a group of people and you receive a certificate that's basically saying you did it. Now, the one thing that I must say about graduating high school is that based on geographic location, not everybody does have the benefits and the chance to get the education that they need and to move on to college. Graduating high school can do many things for many different people. It allows them, or even getting their GED, it allows them to get a job. It allows them to move on to graduate and go to college. In some cases, scholarships are offered. This can really open up a lifetime of opportunity for people. I specifically remember being in high school and having to deal with a lot of peer pressure. The alternative was death in some cases. I knew people in high school who had taken a very wrong road and eventually they landed in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they ended up in jail because they got involved with the wrong people. Sometimes people take peer pressure for granted. It has such a strong influence and hold over people today. The other part about it that's a little bit more scary is the idea that if one day some of the people watching this may have kids, and it's hard to think about what the generations are like and how over time the generations seem to be getting a little bit older too fast. Children are experimenting with drugs and alcohol much younger, and they're getting into trouble at much younger ages. This is something that's been going on, of course, for a long time, but it seems to just be a little bit more extreme as the generations go on. I've not only heard this from, this isn't just my opinion, I've heard it from other people as well. I've talked to multiple people about this. So why is it important to celebrate high school? Because it's the idea that we can all come together and celebrate our future. We all have a place and a time in which we've struggled, and for the most part, we've had to deal with peer pressure and self-esteem, and each year, sometimes it gets easier, sometimes it gets harder, but the process of this graduation basically allowed us to be where we are today. The one thing I remember about graduating was my family being there and being able to stand up in front of everybody and give a speech and being the underdog in that situation, because nobody believed that I was going to make it, because I started off my freshman and sophomore year succumbing to peer pressure and getting involved with the wrong people. And it took a lot of hard work and effort to change that around. And when I was standing up there and giving my speech, I could see the shine in my mother's eyes and my father's eyes. They were extremely proud, and I was extremely proud of myself. And I'm sure that anybody who's been to a graduation or has graduated from high school knows that it is a huge accomplishment. Some people get through it a little bit easier, and some people really do have the smarts and don't let social outlets deter them. But for the most part, this is something that people get into, and it's not always easy to get out. Again, it's hard to understand that we're born into a certain situation, and our geographic location, the circumstances in which we are born, is extremely important. Because for some of us, we just get lucky. In other cases, people are born into poverty. They don't have their school doesn't have the money to fund a correct education. They don't get what they're needing, and they go for the easy buck, the easy dollar. High school graduation really is a blessing and a gift. It's a privilege. As much as we'd like to believe that everybody makes it, that's not the case. So in conclusion, I just think this is a great opportunity to reflect and think about that time, because without that period of time, we wouldn't be and couldn't be where we are today, which is in college and moving forward.